Hello, my fellow rebels. I am more to me for life, and riding shotgun is Tigress.
Hello.
We are back in Rimworld, running version 15. That is Alpha 15. For those of you who have never tried this particular version, there are a lot of changes, and I'm going to go through these changes with you today. First off, let me go ahead and inform you that this is going to be a short series of all the basic information you need to play Rimworld. Starting out, we are going to go to New Colony. You can go up here to Tutorial, but as I have discussed in one of my previous videos, that tutorial sucks. So let's go to New Colony, and here you are to choose your scenario. Your scenario determines how many survivors you have and what kind of items you have. Things to keep in mind are the amount of survivors determines how many people you start with. May seem like kind of a duh thing, but if you start out with, say, one explorer here, you will only have that one individual, and if they get into trouble, it is very, very hard to save yourself. And here we may have 5 lost tribespeople, which is like, oh my goodness, I've got 5 people that can build and create. The problem with this is, and the second thing to consider when choosing a scenario, is the level of intelligence that particular group has. The crash landed survivors, as an example, starts out with a basic knowledge of electronics. Our tribespeople start out with no knowledge of electronics.
Sorry.
So that means you are going to have to research an extra amount of time to do this. Now, you can go into Steam workshops and open up other people's scenarios and download them and play those. You can also go down here to a custom scenario and create your own. Now, be very, very careful. It is also extremely easy in this particular way of becoming a god before you even start, and that's just not fun. Here you choose your story AI. This AI is basically the person who, well, screws your shit up. Now, if you like it intense, come down here around these little areas. If you really
also
want
go
to
the guy down there, because he tends to make everything extreme.
Increase your intensity, or if you are really suicidal, go to permadeath mode down here. I will never go to permadeath mode. Also, you have 3 different flavors of AI. She creates a steady increasing curve of challenge. She gives you nice relaxing in between time, and then she will hit you very, very hard, and this guy will just screw your shit up. That's pretty much the only thing I can tell you. He randomly throws things out there, and he really does not care how long it's been since you survived the last one. So if you are wanting something that is extremely difficult and you never know what's going to happen, hit Randy Random and Extreme or Permadeath and you are good to go. But do not text me down at the bottom when you grow extra hair or lose hair or grow gray hair or any of those things. I'm going to pick base builder because that's what I want to do. I want to build a base. And let's see, what kind of seed shall we have? We are going to do more to me for life. And if you would like to follow along whenever we start building, type this in your seed, and we are going to choose the maximum size map and go to generate. Wow. I look weird on map form. I'm not really seeing, I don't see my personality in this map. Okay, so explaining these landing sites, which is what you're choosing, you got the, I guess you could say the Arctic Circle up here. You've got the basic Arctics, where you might actually find some polar bears. I have no idea if those are in this game. Then you've got the temperate climates, and then we've got some desert and some rainforest. I particularly choose the rainforest area, and this is why. What you need to look for is the average temperatures. Mine are in Fahrenheit because here in Georgia we go by Fahrenheit. And I don't really pay attention to the rainfall, though I think that it does have something to do with how fast your crops are going to grow. The stone types, we got marble, slate, and granite. We have all 3, which means we can choose to build with all 3 types of stone. We can also build sculptures with 3 different types of stone, and as far as I've been able to tell, marble has got the most strength, so whenever you're attacked, the marble should hold up better than any other thing. And the major thing is our growing period, which is year-round.
Also, it allows you to look at the terrain, whether it's flat land or mountainous or hills.
And you can choose to go over here and where there's no hills, no nothing, and just build everything on flat land if you want to. Me personally, I like building into mountains, on the side of mountains, using mountains as a natural defense. So that is what I'm going to choose. Mountainous, average temperature 81 to 71. Let's see, average temperature 81. It might actually get a little bit warm here, so we might have to cool some areas off. We will just see. Now, I'm going to take a step back from the recording, and I'm going to go ahead and pick some characters, and then I'm going to come back and tell you why. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we've got Naoko, Ray, and Lucky, and these are the reasons why I have chosen them. First off, if you want to, you can get a look at their backstories and the bonuses or the minuses they get because of them. Sometimes that's kind of an interesting little tale. I chose all of these because they are incapable of nothing, meaning every single one of them.
Lucky is incapable of intellectual things.
Well, Lucky's lucky got chosen. Anyway. We go by the traits. This one's a jogger, psychically sensitive, and a nudist. So this one's going to be running really, really fast, naked. And then we have got this one, music lover, starship janitor, incapable of nothing, proselyphile, which means she is not going to like it if she has to get a peg leg. And she's kind of a slowpoke. So this one is going to be running naked circles around this one. And then we have got Lucky, who's a coma child. I'm not even sure what that means. Childhood accident put Lucky into a coma. Okay. And then a blacksmith as an adult, incapable of intellectual pride because of the coma. The traits, gay, cold, tolerant, and optimist. With the only thing that's negative here is this one is probably not going to care for being in the rainforest. So, thankfully, very optimistic. But going by these skills over here, between all of these, we have got a shooter, someone who do melee, and all of them have got bonuses in particular areas. This is the only one that concerns me, and not really that much because we've got a researcher, so not a big deal. Health, they all look pretty good, and we've got a relationship bonus because we got a brother and a sister here. So, having created these characters now, the only things you really, really need to pay attention to is starting out careful on what they are incapable of, because there are people who are incapable of fighting fires, people who are incapable of violence, which means they will not defend your settlement. Alright, and down here in the traits, there are going to be some negative traits that you will have to deal with, such as the pyros, the people who like to play with fire, the ones who like to set shit aflame.
Especially if they start getting mad.
One of the things that you have to deal with are their relationships and their feelings a lot in this one. It wasn't such a big deal in previous alphas. Now it is a huge deal because they will break and they will go crazy. So, pyros like to burn things down. Brawlers like to beat people up. Let's see, the neurotics, don't get me started on those. You also have the people with phobias, and we do actually have someone that has a phobia, which is the proselyphile. They don't really care for,
No, they're the ones that want to go biotic.
There's the proselyphobic who are actually not liking the bionics, and then there are the ones who actually really like it, so I'm going to get to play with this one, which is great. There's also the psychotic characters that they can shoot your colonists and won't really care, especially if they go into a psychotic break, but each one of those also has a bonus. That pyro will not care one bit about going to put out a fire. Actually, no, they won't put out a fire.
They will sit there and play with it.
Yeah, they'll play with it. They'll stare at it. They'll roast marshmallows. The psychotic does not care about seeing dead bodies. You will get attacked, and you will have to take care of the dead bodies, and they get negative emojis, meaning they get negatives. Like this one right here has got a bonus to the emoji. You can get negatives from different things. Whenever they see dead bodies, they get a negative. There are certain traits that allow them to deal with dead bodies on certain ones where you won't have to worry about it. So each one of these negative emojis, a negative trait, sometimes has a positive. So look at those two. Alright, now we are going to go and hit the start button, and we are going to generate a map out of thin air. We are going to pull it out of our ass.
I love how you put it that. Love how you put that there.
Alright, the three of you awake from your cryo-sleep sarcophagi. That sounds so funny. To sound of sirens and ripping metal, you barely get the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land on an unknown rim world. As pieces of shredded starship fall around you, you start to make plans to survive. I don't know why I had to say it like that.
Me either. Where are they falling? Oh.
Right there. Hang on, hang on. Let's go to this menu and see whether or not I've got the volume turned down. Okay.
Maybe that's why I'm gonna pause it to go ahead and get their stuff going.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Where are we at? Wow. Now that is interesting.
That's actually a very big area. I like this area down here.
This area?
Mm-hmm.
Just close that off so nobody can come in the bottom. And then dig off into there. That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also liking this over here. So
Yeah.
maybe grow up, you know, up in there. Grow up in there.
Either choose that one or that one, which I suggest that one because it has only one entryway.
Yeah, I'm going to concur with you because it's also got a place for a geothermal vent. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so the little bit that you just heard us doing is what you're going to have to do as soon as you get your map pulled up. Look around, make sure there's an area to build a base, figure out where you want to plant yourselves, and get going. Now, every single time you land, everything that you pinpointed during your scenario will drop with you. There will also be some other scattered materials all over the place, like here's pieces of your ship, that wonderful ship that fell apart on you.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll have to pick those things up and create a stockpile. But first, before we do anything else, guess what is going to happen? Titus. Oh, she's stumped. We're going to stop our video right here, and we are going to go back to my other... What are you doing?
I'm zooming in on them.
Okay. We're going to go back to our other build because there are a lot of other things that I would like to teach you in this tutorial phase, which I'm hoping is going to be no more than 5 videos, and show you exactly what it is you need to learn to survive. Also, because, as you can tell, we are going to have to build an extremely large area, it would be a good idea, instead of having to build in and tear down and rebuild, it'd be a good idea to understand exactly where we want to set things up. And in order for us to do that, we're going to have to show you everything that you can possibly unlock in the settlement phase. So, for our next grouping, I will probably be getting into the research bench, would probably be the first thing that I would tell you about because that tells you the types of rooms that you would actually need to build. But we shall see because, well, we'll just see which one hits me first. Right? All I got was a thumbs up because you could hear that, the thumbs up. Alright, that is the end of this video. I hope you have had a wonderful time. I have had a wonderful time. I am so incredibly excited, and if you would like to follow around, just pull up your game, type in the same seed that I did, more to me for life, and you can play right along with us. Leave us comments, and if you would like to, go on Twitter and share with me pictures of your build and how you are doing it. And my Twitter is more2me_for life, and I would love to see how you handle this build. And I will see you next time. You have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, and a wonderful 5 o'clock somewhere. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Jogger. So, what? Slothful and a jogger. How do you lazily jog? God almighty.
That person's 90 years old.
This person's gonna die. Gonna land and die.